My kids are grown. I'm in my 40s. And my husband and I just sold our business that's our complete livelihood. And our house closes in just under 3 weeks. And we are leaving the state that we met in and we have lived in for over a decade. And we're moving. I would love to tell you where we're moving to, but we don't actually know yet. A few weeks ago, we traveled for a couple of weeks through Tennessee, Virginia, and Kentucky to try to find a house, hopefully to put an offer on so we would have some place to move when our house closes. We did make an offer on a house. I'm freaking out a little bit. Oh, and we don't have jobs. I mean, yeah, no, we really don't. I will insert some clips of the house because we took lots of videos and pictures because, you know, when you're touring houses with your spouse, sometimes there's ones that each of you might like, but then it's just not the perfect magical fit, you know? This house, my husband and I walked into it and we both had little cartoon hearts coming out of our eyes. We were just so completely in love with it. And we were like, okay, we're going to be responsible adults here, guys. We're going to be responsible adults. And we're not going to just make an offer on the first. It wasn't the first. It was the first thing that we fell in love with. And we were like, not really very excited about our house tours today. And looked at each other and went, do you just want to cancel all our house tours and make an offer on this house? Yeah, and that's what we did. So about a week after we've been home, and we never countered their last offer back, we just let it expire. So they were probably feeling pretty sheepish. They had not gotten any offers in 2 years, and we made an offer and they didn't accept it. So I get this notification at 5 o'clock at night that says that house that we made an offer on, they lowered their price to $169,000. This is a love letter to us from the bank. They haven't lowered the price in that long, and then they lower it to the 160s. That's them telling us, oh, we're sorry we didn't play ball. We'll play ball now. No? That's what it feels like to me. So we're kind of at a stalemate on what to do, but we know we're still in love with it and we still want to do it. So we decide, we had driven by, there was one other neighbor in the area because we're looking for really remote properties that are in the middle of nowhere. But there was one neighbor next door and they had a sign out front that said they had a business. So we looked up that business and it was really, really cool. So I reached out and I got their phone number and I gave them a call. So the next day we're driving back from Georgia and I get a phone call from Kentucky and I'm like, oh, it's them. So I answered the phone and she was the nicest person. She was so incredibly giving about information she did not have to give me. But I explained our whole situation, where we were coming from, and it just so happened that they also, when they bought their property, they were moving from out of town as well. So they were very her and her husband had similar aspirations to me and my husband. So she was very understanding about, I was just looking for information about what they knew about flooding in the area and things like that. Over the next 30 minutes, she proceeds to tell me that the flooding is a thing, but it's something that we could work on because we have experience with grading land and things like that. It's manageable. But the thing for me that is not manageable was how she told me that the neighbors just don't like outsiders, and they've had so many problems because they have a business on their property, and this is like a really private area, and the neighbors don't like that, and they didn't want outsiders. They don't want people going down there. So I don't want to divulge too much of their story, but essentially her husband has been they had by the neighbors. I could not handle that kind of situation there. So very grateful for her conversation, but that house was a pass.
Like in the middle of nowhere, no city lights, no nothing, but I don't know. This is like something that could be super special and cool. It's definitely going to be a challenge. But man,
It just started snowing. My future new home. Very excited. There's old Haddon House. The carriage house is back there. Our portion of an airplane hangar barn. Exciting.